We've heard of sleeping with the fishes. We're about to fight with the fishes here at the Atlantis. And here with me, my broadcast colleague, it's Johnny Nelson.
Looking forward to this one, Todd.
Time for our tale of the tape. It's Manny Pacquiao. He's 5'5.5" tall and has a reach of 67 inches. And he'll be taking on the legend himself, Terrence Bud Crawford. 5'7", 135 pounds even. That's the lightweight limit. And he's got a reach of 74 inches.
I'll always go for reach. Every time over anything. If you've got reach, touch with speed, nobody's going to touch you. But someone that can get in close, that has the power to get up close and personal and break those ribs, get those shots.
It's the Pac-Man, the only boxer to hold world championships across 4 decades, the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s. He is forever one of the all-time greats. Terrence Bud Crawford, one of the pound-for-pound best in the world, fighting out of Nebraska, USA, one of the greatest of all time.
The reach, how on earth are they going to get through that jab?
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, from General Santos City in the Philippines, truly one of the all-time greats. But
all the talking has been done. It's time to start doing the walking.
Which fans are going to be happy? Which fans are going to be sad? All right. I don't know, but
here we go, round 1. Who's going to land the first big shot? You'd like to see someone use a jab here to establish a boxing presence, but no, they just want to fight. We wanted action, and they are delivering. Nice hook there. Good counter punch. There is not a seat to be had in this arena, Johnny. It's got that big fight feel, doesn't it?
You have certain fighters that are born for this, that are made for the big crowd. And look in that corner right there, that is that fighter right there. They have elevated, lifted, it's like they're not touching the ground. This is what they were born for.
That counter shot lands. Which one of these athletes is going to say, I can't take it anymore? He missed with that jab. Good counter punching. Can they figure out the combination to this safe?
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Catch and shoot. This fighter has that swarmer's mentality, taking away an opponent's reach, getting on the inside, and just banging and banging and banging.
Swarmers, you can go back in boxing history. When you've seen them, when you've seen the best of the best swarmers going, you understand how hard it is. It looks exciting from the outside in. Can you imagine being right in there?
Just when you think they're going to have a lull in the action, we get it heated back up. Well done with that counter shot. Got him there. Solid punch. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Manny Pacquiao in that last round. Well, he is in big trouble here. He may have been saved by the bell.
Needs a knockout without a doubt. Needs to go out there and think, right, you know.
Here we go, round 2. Who's going to land the first big shot? Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on him. That's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
When you're fighting a counterpuncher, the feint can be such a good weapon. Pretend you're going to punch, make the counterpuncher throw a punch, and then you counter them.
Reaction is second to none. It's the blink of an eye. They're waiting for any little switch you do. So you've got to fight a counterpuncher smart.
Nice counter shot. Both men step back for just a moment. Beautiful counterpunch. Caution is being thrown to the wind. Not sure why he's not using his reach advantage.
You've got to make your opponent fight your kind of fight. They've got to get into your kind of argument, your kind of dance.
Both fighters landing in these exchanges. Judge is going to have a tough job.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Missing with that right hook. By the way, the connect percentages have to be off the charts. Unlike the heavier fighters, these fighters throw so many punches, it's hard to keep up. Lucky that hook didn't score. Can't throw out a lazy jab in this fight. You're gonna get knocked out. Beautiful counter shot. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. You know the scorecards are gonna be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Manny Pacquiao in that last round. That was almost a 10-8 round. Complete dominance.
As long as they don't get complacent, you think this is too easy.
Here we go in round 3. Who's going to land the first big shot? Coming off that great round, let's see if they can build on momentum here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Can't score with that jab. Nice counter punch right up the middle. We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain there.
And he scores with the counter. Punch, counter punch. They got out of the way of that right hook. You can see the heavy breathing, but that's not slowing him down. They both want a highlight reel knockout. Crawford in trouble. And down goes Crawford. Thank goodness we've got instant replay. We get to see it again.
Where did that come from? What a shot.
to beat the count there.
Oh, he can smell blood. Look at that. He's put in round once. He knows what shot works and where to land it. Then try and do it again. He's just not got to get trigger happy.
We need to turn this around halfway through.
If that ever hope. Remember the fight at Ivan Holyfield? He could be behind on points up until the last 10 seconds. But he's fighting like he's going to put it back. That's the kind of hope we need to see.
Punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Who's willing to go where the other fighter won't? He misses with that jab. The perfect counter lands. And not the best of rounds with 10 seconds to go. Talk about Crawford in that last round. So it's plan B time after being knocked down in that round.
Can make or break a fighter.
I need you to get back out there. I need you to win. Don't worry, that's it. Now breathe.
On to the fourth we go. His eyes look pretty clear here, Johnny. How do you think he's going to do after being knocked down in the last round?
God, listen to me. If I knock somebody down like that round, you know this round coming out? He's getting everything full barrel because I know his legs are gone. So this, you watch what's going to happen. If he doesn't, I'll be very, very surprised.
In this division, both fighters will constantly be on their toes trying to punch and counterpunch.
When you have a fight that's got that great footwork and that great hand speed, it's so hard. It's an uphill battle.
To be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. A straight right just misses. That jab doesn't score. There's a counter shot. Just misses with that uppercut. We hear that old phrase, second win. You've got to fight it somehow.
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax. Because you know what you can do in the gym. You can do it in a fight. They've got to relax.
Halfway through the round, I'm not sure who's winning it.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
You believe what we are seeing. They're both trying for a knockout. Those counter punches have to hurt. Well, Johnny, as you know, there's a fine line between being aggressive and being too aggressive.
How do you deal with an aggressive fighter? What you do is you fight fire with fire. You either give it them back because that's where they're comfortable, or you play calm, play cool.
Didn't land that jab. Big shots from both of these fighters. Got to be careful, though. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Manny Pacquiao in that last round. I promise you, all three judges here are going to give that round to you-know-who.
I seriously hope the judges kept their eye on this fight, because if they haven't, there's going to be absolute uproar.
Don't worry about that round. Let's go out there. Let's reset. Don't give him no free shots, yeah? You're doing good, kid. You're doing good. Win this next round.
And there's the bell for round 5. Well, Johnny, can he keep the momentum going after that last huge round for him?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
No rest for the weary. How about that time counter shot? You know, with lightweights, these guys are going to be lightning quick.
Sometimes when you have a fight, the best way to beat a fight is not give them what they want. Because they want to get you there. They want you to stand there toe-to-toe with them and have a tear. That's what they do in the gym every single day of the week. What you've got to do is you've got to frustrate them as they set their shots. Get out of the way. And they'll get so angry, so frustrated because they can't work.
Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Misses with that jab. Wanted to land the left hook, but was not successful. Very competitive round here so far.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Well, you know, in this division, we're going to see a lot of combinations, a lot of counter punching.
I've seen some fighters with a granite chin. You can hit them with a sledgehammer, they are not going to move. But then I've seen some mad punchers with a chin like a crisp. As soon as you touch them, they're gone. And this is the danger spot.
Nice counter shot. Just missed with that jab. They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. Nice counter. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Manny Pacquiao in that last round. After what we saw in that last round, it's pretty obvious who has the advantage here.
Dominance.
On to the sixth round. Well, there's no doubt about who won that last round. Let's see what he has for us here in the next one.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
You'd like to see more jabs. A perfect counter shot. Blistering hand speed from both of these outstanding lightweights.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those point areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You've just got to try and cut them, skin them, go for speed.
This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. And that left hook doesn't find its target. Both of these men showing exceptional chins, by the way. Here we go with these two lightning-quick lightweights.
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
Both of these fighters have had their moments.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Holding nothing back here in the round. deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. This fighter is not interested in throwing one shot at a time. They throw combinations, and they throw them non-stop.
What you've got to do, Tony, is anticipation. You've got to wait. You just got to throw caution to the wind and just hope. You're never going to know where the shots are coming from. You just got to put in a guess.
Oh, what a punch! And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Trying to land that jab. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. We'll see how much endurance these two fighters have.
You cannot gas out. If you prepared right, slept right, ate right, and did everything right for this fight, you have no excuse for gassing out.
Good work. Just keep him on the end. You're letting back into this. You're better than this, kid. Go back out there and win the round.
Here comes round 7. How much is left in their tank after last round?
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me, personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
Stamina is so important for these two fighters because it allows them to use their skills throughout the match. It can all come down to who's in better shape.
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
Jab misses. He threw a punch and just got countered. The straight right just misses. That counter punch caught him clean. Well, you know, in this division, you got to have speed and you got to have footwork, or you're going to be a cooked goose.
Sometimes when you get in there with someone that's so powerful, you've got to think him. You've just got to be smarter than them. You've got to be like a little Fagin and pickpocket them.
They exchange punches. Nice job by him to block that jab. Stamina is off the charts. You hear people talk about a boxer's chin. Do they have a good chin? Do they have a glass jaw? Those are questions that are being answered here tonight.
What a gift. What a gift it is to have a chin where you know you can walk through anything and everything. When you let those shots go and it's just bouncing off and they're walking you down, it's so demoralizing. It absolutely breaks your heart. What else can you do?
This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. I'm worried about these two fighters gassing out as this fight goes on.
That's when you talk about...
Round 8, and we're off again. They let it all hang out in the last round. What do they got left?
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
Straight right just misses. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Nope, that jab not going to score. How nervous would you get when you know you're facing a big puncher like this that can seriously hurt you?
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you've hit and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it, but you've got to be confident.
Might want to think of holding on here for a minute. That hook was thrown with some bad intentions. Nice counter punch. Some nice exchanges from both men in this round.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Well, they're going deep into the gas tank on this round. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're dealing with someone with so much speed, you've got to get your timing right.
So you're getting in there with someone that's so fast, you're prepared to take a licking because you've got to get some before you get him close.
That counter punch caught him clean. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. I don't think it's going to be a boxing match. This is going to be a fight. The only fear you have with this lightweight is has he punched himself out? That counter punch caught him clean. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Some might have thought it was a little bit closer, but in the end, the referees are in a unanimous agreement.
Unanimous? You know what? Smart that is. A total change of styles to make sure they got it. At every round in the bag, there was no argument, no discussion, no mistake. It was so obvious.
Keep striving until my lungs can't breathe. They're all tired, I don't know about fatigue. Got my bros back if we come under siege. Got my dogs with me, I ain't carrying a leash. Thank the Lord for my freedom of speech, cause I say what I like and I do